Good morning to all of you.
Morning, sir.
Good
Morning,
morning.
sir.
Good morning. Good morning. We will continue our discussion in the recent trend in mathematics curriculum development, and previously we have seen the some of the basic concept of the curriculum and the how the word curriculum has emerged over the time period that we have discussed in the previous class. Okay, so in the today class we will see the what are the recent trend in mathematics curriculum development. Means what, when we will develop the mathematics curriculum, what are the things we should keep in our mind, and what are the things that we should keep in our mind as per the need and demand of the present situation. Okay, and in that, in between, the term behaviorism and constructivism was coming. I have told you that I will discuss in the next class, but I am again postponing for some other classes the lecture note related to the behaviorism and constructivism is also made available in the learning portal. So you just go through those texts there, and when we will finish discussing the trend in development of mathematics curriculum, so at the last we will discuss about the behaviorism and constructivism, because till now you have some of the idea. The one of the thing that I was discussing in the next class, that is the difference between mathematics curriculum framework and a syllabus, that is also made available there. So you go through that. So that was that, and when we see the paradigm shift in the development of curriculum, not only here I am talking about the mathematics curriculum, but when we see the paradigm shift in the development of a curriculum, any curriculum for the mathematics, or curriculum for the social science, or curriculum for the language or a science or a humanities, anything, now we are shifting from the behavioristic approach of a curriculum development to a constructivist approach of a curriculum development. The basic difference between the behaviorism and the constructivism is that behaviorism is based on a philosophy that out of the educational intervention there must be the behavioral change, observable behavioral change in the child, and since it is more aligned towards the observable behavioral change, so somewhere somehow it ignores the construction of knowledge, the providing the appropriate opportunity to the learner for development of the and the for construction of the concept. So moreover, the behaviorism is not a child center, rather than it is a teacher centric curriculum, where the teacher is a supreme boss and there is a less scope of interaction or the activeness of the child in the teaching learning process. But in contrast to the behaviorism, when we talk about the constructivism philosophy is based upon that the child is not with an empty mind, because we know that there was an old notion in our society that child is with the empty mind. I think you have heard of the tabula rasa. Tabula rasa means the empty slate. So child is with the empty slate, and the teachers are supposed to write on the slate, but that is not a fact, because we know the developmental psychology, and we know the how the person construct the concept about anything nowadays. So when the child gets birth and when the child goes to school, so in between there is a 5 years of a gap. Now the national education policy focuses that the child will be admitted to the school at the age of 3. Let it be 3. So in that 3 years of age, child learns a lot of a thing with interaction with the parents, society and the family. And even in fact that it is scientifically established, even before the birth, means during the prenatal stage of the child. Prenatal stage is termed the stage of the before the birth of a child. There are 3 stages: prenatal, natal, postnatal. Prenatal is the before the birth, natal is the during the birth, and postnatal is the after the birth. So in the prenatal stage also child learns indirectly with the environment of the mother and a father, and that's why when the child gets born, a child is able to identify the father and a mother, because before the birth child has never seen them, but they are able to identify. So the constructivism philosophy says that the child has all the potentiality to learn a concept. There is a requirement here to involve them in an appropriate situation where the child can explore, experiment, interact to construct the knowledge. Here knowledge will be not transferred. In the behaviorism, knowledge was transferred from a teacher to a student, because we say that the teacher is a more knowledgeable person and a student or a child is a less knowledgeable person. So the flow of knowledge will be from high to low. But constructivism is not a philosophy that will talk about the flow of knowledge. It talks the construction of knowledge. Okay. So how it will be constructed? They will be given an opportunity. So here the child is the active element of a learning in the teaching learning process, where in the behaviorism the child is not an active element. So there is a shift in from behaviorism to constructivism, and it is not specifically to the mathematics but for the all. And when we talk about the trend in the mathematics curriculum development, so it will have basically the 4 component of the educational process. One of the process is obviously the teacher, and the second one is the student, because in any teaching learning process there will be a student, that the child, and there will be a teacher, or more specifically when we talk about in the constructivist paradigm, the facilitator. And obviously there will be a context, because constructivism philosophy talks about the context from where the child is coming, what is the socio-cultural practices, what are the environmental factor. Okay, so the context where the child will learn, and obviously the most important thing will be the curriculum, means what is the aim of the teaching learning process, how you want to achieve, what are the outcome you want to achieve, and how it will be achieved. So these are the 4 basic component of curriculum development. Then as I was talking about that there are different approach. One approach was the behavioristic approach, another approach was the constructivist approach. So within the behavioristic approach there is a one subject centered approach, and this subject centered approach puts more emphasis on the content. So that's why it is sometimes termed as a content centric approach. Here we don't focus about the learner, here we don't focus much about the learning process. Here our focus is the content, means we, within 1 year of a course, the child is supposed to develop a mastery over the suggested content. Suppose that the content in mathematics is trigonometry and the trigonometrical identities, set theory, and then the binomial theorem, and then the about the triangle and about the quadrilateral, like that. These are the content. So content is the more focus, means the child must be very fluent on the content. I will put the emphasis on the content while developing a curriculum. I will not focus much about the learner, because whoever the learner, whatever is the context, whatever their background, they are supposed to develop the mastery over that. Okay, so the learner and the teaching process have a less emphasis in comparison with the content, and that's why here the interest of the child, whether I want to learn mathematics or not, whether I want to learn trigonometry or not, have a less importance, less place. Okay, and the teacher role is not also very important and crucial. Teacher are supposed to deliver the content. Whatever the content is prescribed, they are supposed to deliver the content. The another approach is the behavioristic approach, that is a part of the behavioristic philosophy, behaviorism, is that behavioristic approach of a curriculum development. And this curriculum development philosophy believes that the learning is the modification of a behavior. So we have to work for the observable behavioral change. Here content is also not very much important. Here mastery over the content is also not important. But here the important thing is that the outcome as a behavioral modification that can be seen in the child. And that's why if we are talking about the behavioral modification, so it will have a plan, means what kind of a behavioral modification you are seeing about, how it will be achieved, and what will be the work plan for that. That is the blueprint. Okay, so this is the more emphasis here, and the objective of a learning is particular with the subject. Okay, the objective of a learning is not a holistic in nature. Here when we talk about the assessment methodology, also assessment methodology is also the very objective kind of a thing. There is a less scope of a open-ended question, there is a less scope of a problem solving based question, there is a less scope of the type of item that allow the children to express themselves. So the variety of assessment strategy will not be available here. Okay, so whereas when we talk about the constructivist approach, as I was talking about, here the child is important, their interest is important, their inner potential is important, and it is also important that they should understand. Knowledge should not be transferred without the understanding. Knowledge will be generated, constructed by themselves with the engaging them actively in the learning environment. And obviously the role of a teacher here will be the facilitator, means they will facilitate in the learning process. And the assessment strategy will also have a varieties: long answer, short answer, open-ended question, projects, group work, talk, group show, like that. So many things will be, even the portfolio assessment, so that the holistic picture of a development of a child can be captured. So that is the important point here. So before proceeding further, I will have one small question answer session. If anybody is having a question, please ask me up to here. Anybody?
No, sir.
So shall I proceed? Okay. Those who are getting a question, they may ask at the last also. So the constructivism philosophy, when we talk, it is obviously based upon the Piaget, that is he was the famous constructivist psychology, Piaget theory, and here the child is the provided a various type of activity that is essential for developing the mathematical concept. And within the constructivism there are two things, that is the one thing is the learner centered curriculum and another is the activity centered curriculum. Both are the constructivist curriculum only, whether it is a learner centered curriculum or whether it is a activity centered curriculum, both are coming under the constructivism, but there is a little bit difference in the philosophy. The learner centered curriculum give emphasis that the learner is the important part of the teaching learning process, so that we have to provide a learning opportunity as per the need, as per the interest, as per the ability of the child. So even though there may be a fixed content, suppose that in mathematics when we see the recent curriculum, there is a something fixed thing, like in mathematics you have to study about the trigonometry, you have to study about the quadrilaterals, you have to study about the quadratic equation, okay, like that. But here the approach we will follow to make them understand about the content that is prescribed in a curriculum will be the need and a requirement of the child. It will be based, and it will also consider the ability of the child, what is the inner potential. It will, the example will also based upon the socio-economical background of the child. So that will be the emphasized here, okay, and here the student will be the active participant in the learning process, because the constructivism philosophy is based on that thing only. The next type of a curriculum which is also a part of a that is constructivist curriculum is the activity centered. Here the learning environment will be not a child centered, but it will be the activity centered, means a lot of activity will be planned and designed to make them motivate, make them construct the knowledge concept about a certain thing. But here I will like to make a clear cut concepts and distinction is that basically when we talk about the activity centered curriculum, it is used in the pre-primary or a primary level, when the child is interacting with something to construct the knowledge, and here the child needs some motivation to learn more, to explore more. So in the pre-primary and primary level we have a activity centered curriculum, but in fact it is also one of the child centered curriculum only, because whenever we plan the activity, it is as per the need and requirement of the child only. So it is also a type of a child centered curriculum only, but it is here the main focus is on the activity, what should be the activity, variety of activities should be there, and by participating in those activity the child will construct their knowledge.